There is a quiet tragedy playing out every day, all around you. It's a slow erosion, a fading away of potential, a giving up on life's grandest opportunity. It's the failure to grow up, not just in age, but in spirit, in responsibility, in mastery over oneself. Most people don't stumble because life is unfair. They stumble because they never truly accepted the weight of their own existence. They never grew into the full stature of what it means to be an adult in this world. Growing up is not about counting birthdays or accumulating years. It is about standing firmly in the arena of life, shoulders squared, eyes clear, ready to meet whatever comes with courage and grace. It means taking responsibility, ownership, of every decision, every failure, every success. Yet, so many drift through life like a leaf on the wind, tossed by circumstance, blaming others, avoiding the very work that growth demands. You see, growth demands discipline. It demands clarity of purpose. It requires that you hold yourself accountable when no one else is watching. It asks you to develop habits so strong they become the unseen architecture of your character. And most people aren't willing to pay that price. They want the rewards but not the work. They want the comfort but not the discomfort. They want change but without sacrifice. This is why so many fail to grow up. Because maturity is not a gift. It is a conquest. A daily battle against laziness, distraction, and fear. It's the hard truth Jim Rohn handed down across decades. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without it, your dreams remain distant castles in the sky. To grow up, you must first understand that your life is your responsibility, no one else's. It's tempting to look outward, to blame the economy, your upbringing, or your luck. But until you stop that blame game, until you grasp that the steering wheel is in your hands, you remain a passenger in your own journey. And passengers rarely reach their destination. True adulthood is marked by a shift from what can I get to what can I give. It's a shift from victimhood to ownership, from entitlement to gratitude. When you grow up, you stop complaining about what's missing and start focusing on what you can build. You learn the art of patience, knowing that growth is a season, not a sprint. Jim Rohn's words echo like a timeless beacon. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. This is the essence of growing up. Life will never be perfectly fair, never perfectly kind. It will test you, push you, even break you if you let it. But if you choose to get better, if you choose growth, you become the master of your fate, not a victim of circumstance. The child waits for permission, the adult grants it to themselves. The child seeks approval, the adult seeks truth. The child avoids pain, the adult embraces it as a teacher. Growth demands that you step into the discomfort, that you lean into the hard lessons instead of running from them. Because it is through struggle that your character is forged. Through discipline that your freedom is won. To fail to grow up is to live small. It is to accept a life of quiet desperation, watching from the sidelines as others chase their purpose and dreams. But when you embrace growth, when you choose responsibility and discipline, you tap into something powerful and eternal. You connect to the rhythm of life itself, the pulse of progress that moves the world forward. The seasons teach us this truth. Just as winter cannot be wished away, nor the heat of summer denied, your personal seasons of challenge and change are essential. They are necessary. The seed must endure darkness before it breaks through the soil. The caterpillar must struggle in the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. So ask yourself, why do most people fail to grow up? Because they fear the struggle. Because they want comfort without cost. Because they don't realize that maturity is the greatest success of all. It is the foundation from which every other victory springs. If you want to grow up, start with the little things, the small decisions that build your discipline and character every day. Show up on time. Speak the truth, even when it's hard. Take responsibility for your failures and your wins alike. Read, learn, and grow your mind relentlessly. Cultivate gratitude for every breath, every opportunity. This path is not easy, but it is the only path to true freedom. As Jim Rohn taught, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. Let those disciplines be your tools to grow, your weapons against stagnation and despair. Remember, the man who refuses to grow up traps himself in a prison of his own making. The man who chooses growth breaks free, each day stepping closer to the best version of himself. Growth is a relentless journey inward before it ever shows outward. It begins in the quiet corners of your mind, and the habits you build when no one's watching, and the promises you keep to yourself long after the applause has faded. The world rewards action, but it reveres consistency. And consistency is the heartbeat of maturity. Many seek quick fixes, fast results, overnight success. But Jim Rohn taught us that time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Growth honors time. It understands that life is the long game, that the grandest victories take years, often decades, to unfold. The failure to grow up is, in essence, the failure to respect time's profound power. Every day, you make choices. You choose to advance or retreat, to build or to break down, to embrace responsibility or shirk it. These choices compound, layer by layer, shaping the landscape of your future self. This is the real magic of growth. It is not a single act, but a series of decisions, each seemingly small, that forge a life of greatness or mediocrity. The truth is, character is not revealed in comfort but in crisis. It is easy to say you are disciplined when life is smooth sailing. True discipline is forged in the storm, when distractions roar, when temptations whisper, and when fatigue drags at your resolve. The mature person meets those storms with steady hands and an unwavering heart. This is why Jim Rohn's philosophy still cuts through the noise today. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Responsibility is your ticket out of the victim mindset. It is your passport to self-mastery. When you own your decisions, your habits, your attitudes, you gain control over your destiny. It's not about blaming yourself for everything that happens. It's about accepting that you control how you respond. You can't always control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Imagine the life of a man who grows up, who steps into responsibility with both feet. He doesn't waste energy complaining about the weather. He plans his journey around it. He studies, prepares, improves. He understands that his habits are the foundation of his future, that his values shape his decisions, and that his discipline unlocks his freedom. This man knows that growth is never a destination but a continual process. He embraces lifelong learning, not as a chore, but as a sacred duty to himself. He listens more than he speaks. He seeks wisdom over comfort. He is humble enough to admit when he's wrong and brave enough to change course. The failure to grow up comes from fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of discomfort. But the adult learns that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It's a call to courage, an invitation to move forward despite uncertainty. Growth demands that you face your fears head-on, that you refuse to be paralyzed by what might go wrong. Jim Rohn's legacy teaches us that happiness is not something you postpone for the future, it is something you design for the present. Growing up means designing your life with intention. It means choosing your thoughts, your habits, your relationships, your work, and your rest deliberately. It means recognizing that you are the architect of your own existence. There is a profound peace in maturity, a peace born not from having everything but from accepting what is and choosing to make the best of it. The mature mind understands that setbacks are not failures but lessons, that loss is not the end but a new beginning, and that every ending is simply a doorway to a new chapter. So where do you stand today? Are you drifting, hoping for a miracle? Or are you ready to grow up, to claim your life with boldness, to take responsibility with courage, and to build your character with discipline? This is the invitation. Stop wishing for an easier life. Start wishing to be better. Because the greatest success, the richest reward, is not wealth or fame, it is the mastery of yourself. Mastering yourself begins with mastering your mind. Your thoughts are the soil where your life takes root. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and procrastination, do not expect a harvest of greatness. But if you cultivate belief, clarity, and discipline, your potential will bloom beyond what you imagined possible. Jim Rohn often said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a profound insight into how your environment shapes your character. Growth demands that you carefully choose your company, those who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you accountable. The failure to grow up often hides behind toxic relationships, old habits, and comfort zones that no longer serve you. You cannot grow if you stay in the same place mentally and emotionally. Life will keep offering you the same lessons over and over until you learn. Growth is about breaking the cycle. It's about changing your story, writing a new chapter with every choice you make. When you take ownership of your story, you reclaim your power. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the invisible force that turns dreams into reality. But discipline is not a one-time act, it's a lifestyle. It's the voice inside that says keep going when your body says stop, the commitment you make to yourself every morning, the small sacrifices you make consistently. Without discipline, potential remains just that, potential. It never manifests into greatness. The person who grows up learns that discipline is not punishment, it is liberation. It frees you from chaos, distraction, and regret. It aligns your actions with your deepest values and your highest vision. Jim Rohn taught that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. These simple disciplines, waking up early, reading, planning, exercising, reflecting, are the building blocks of a life that commands respect. They shape your habits, your character, your destiny. But growth isn't only about what you do, it's also about what you believe. Your belief system is the lens through which you view the world. If your beliefs are limited, your world will be limited. To grow up means to expand your beliefs, to see beyond what is comfortable and familiar, to envision what could be. And vision without action is merely a dream. The mature individual couples vision with relentless action. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. Even failure becomes fuel, because each mistake holds a lesson, a course correction, a chance to grow stronger. You must become a student of your own life. Reflect regularly on your progress, your setbacks, your values. Ask yourself, are my daily actions aligned with my highest goals? Am I learning, adapting, and evolving? Am I becoming the person I want to be? Time is the great equalizer. It gives the same 24 hours to everyone. What sets the grown-up apart is how they use that time. Do you waste it on distractions and excuses? Or do you invest it wisely in growth, learning, and meaningful work? Jim Rohn's wisdom reminds us that either you run the day or the day runs you. The grown-up takes control of their time, their mind, and their life. They reject victimhood and embrace responsibility. They understand that life will never be perfect, but they choose to make the best of it anyway. This journey of growth is never easy. It demands patience, persistence, and a relentless commitment to yourself. It asks you to face discomfort, to move through fear, to challenge old beliefs. But the rewards are immense: peace of mind, confidence, freedom, and the joy of becoming who you were always meant to be. So today, stand up and say it out loud: I am ready to grow up. I will take responsibility for my life. I will build discipline and character. I will invest my time wisely. I will learn, adapt, and push forward. I will master myself, no matter the cost. Because growing up is not just about age. It's about the decisions you make, the habits you build, and the person you choose to become. It's the greatest act of courage and the most powerful gift you can give yourself. And with that, you begin to live, not just exist. You begin to thrive, not just survive. You become the architect of your own destiny, the author of your own story, the master of your own soul. Growth demands a relentless pursuit of knowledge, but not just any knowledge, the kind that transforms your character and sharpens your judgment. Jim Rohn believed, formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. The grown-up knows that school ends, but learning never does. Every book read, every conversation had, every new skill practiced is a brick in the foundation of a better life. But beware, knowledge alone is not power. It is potential power. True power comes from applying what you learn with consistency and courage. To grow up means to take what you know and do something with it, no matter how small the action. Action is the catalyst for transformation. The gap between who you are and who you want to be narrows with every choice you make. Will you spend your time complaining, or will you spend it creating? Will you blame your circumstances, or will you take control? Will you stay stuck in comfort, or will you push through discomfort to discover your strength? Jim Rohn often said, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better." This is the essence of maturity, the understanding that the world will never tailor itself to your desires. Life is a constant challenge, but within those challenges lie opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Character is the silent architect of your destiny. It's forged in the fires of adversity, in the quiet decisions you make when no one is watching. It's easy to show up when things are smooth, but the grown-up shows up when life demands more. They hold themselves to a higher standard because they understand that integrity is the currency of respect and lasting success. Discipline, responsibility, and character are not luxuries, they are necessities. They are the pillars upon which all achievement is built. Without them, the greatest talents fade away like morning mist. With them, even the humblest beginnings can lead to extraordinary ends. Habits are the invisible forces that shape your life. Jim Rohn said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." It's not about dramatic overnight changes, but about small, consistent actions that compound over time. The daily habit of reading, planning, exercising, or showing gratitude builds a fortress around your dreams. Yet, habits can also be the chains that hold you back. Breaking free requires awareness and courage. It means identifying the habits that drain your energy, limit your thinking, and erode your confidence, and replacing them with habits that uplift and empower. Time is a non-renewable resource. Each moment wasted is a moment lost forever. Jim Rohn taught that time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. The mature person treats time like gold, guarding it fiercely and investing it wisely. Set goals not because you want to impress others, but because you want to impress yourself. Goals give you direction in the chaos, a compass when the path is unclear. But a goal without a plan is just a wish. Break your goals down into manageable steps. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Use setbacks as lessons, not excuses. The philosophy of living that Jim Rohn espoused is one of balance and wisdom. Growth is not just about hustle and grind, it's about aligning your work with your values and purpose. It's about cultivating relationships, health, and inner peace alongside material success. So ask yourself, what philosophy guides your life? Are your daily actions consistent with the values you claim to hold? Are you growing, or just going through the motions? Are you living with purpose, or simply reacting to circumstance? Responsibility is the cornerstone of growth. You are responsible for your choices, your emotions, your results. The moment you accept this, you stop being a victim and start being a creator. You realize that no one owes you success or happiness, you must earn it with your own hands and heart. Jim Rohn's teachings remind us that life is not a spectator sport. It's an active, ongoing creation. Your mindset is the rudder, your habits are the sails, your discipline is the wind that propels you forward. When these elements align, there is no storm you cannot weather, no obstacle you cannot overcome. Embrace the discomfort of growth. Let every challenge refine you. Let every failure teach you. Let every success humble you. Growing up is not a destination but a continuous journey, a commitment to becoming a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. Now, take a deep breath and make this promise to yourself: I will not settle for less. I will work harder on myself than anyone else ever will. I will honor my potential by living deliberately, acting responsibly, and growing relentlessly. Because when you grow up, you don't just change your life, you change the world around you. The truth is, growth is not comfortable. It's rarely neat or convenient. It asks you to confront your fears, your excuses, your habits of procrastination and self-doubt. Growth demands you stand alone sometimes, to face the silence where your true character is revealed. Jim Rohn understood this deeply. He said, "The challenge of leadership is to be strong, but not rude, be kind, but not weak, be bold, but not a bully, be thoughtful, but not lazy, be humble, but not timid, be proud, but not arrogant, have humor, but without folly." This delicate balance is the hallmark of maturity, the essence of growing up. When you face your weaknesses honestly, you begin the process of turning them into strengths. When you take responsibility for your mistakes, you free yourself from the chains of blame and regret. When you discipline your mind and body, you unlock reservoirs of power you never knew existed. The path of growth is a mosaic of small victories and setbacks. It's waking up early when the world is still quiet, reading when others watch TV, pushing through that workout when your body screams for rest, choosing your words carefully when anger rises. These are the moments that define you far more than the grand achievements. Jim Rohn's philosophy teaches that success is something you attract by the person you become. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. This means your daily decisions are the compass needle pointing toward your future. Be careful who you surround yourself with. The company you keep either lifts you higher or drags you down. Choose mentors who challenge you, friends who encourage you, and communities that inspire you. Growth thrives in an environment of positivity and accountability. Responsibility is the foundation of freedom. The grown-up knows that freedom is not chaos, but order with choice. You are free only when you own your actions and their consequences. This ownership gives you power, not just to dream, but to deliver. Imagine your life as a garden. Without care, weeds of doubt, laziness, and fear will choke your potential. But with daily tending, discipline, learning, courage, your garden will bloom with achievement, peace, and joy. Growth is the gardener's art. Setbacks are inevitable. Failure is a certainty. But how you respond is your defining moment. Jim Rohn said, "Failure is simply a few errors in judgment, repeated every day." Stop repeating the errors. Learn, adjust, and move forward. Growth is impossible without this cycle. Time will pass regardless of what you do. The difference between a life well lived and one full of regret is what you choose to do with that time. Choose growth. Choose responsibility. Choose to rise every day with purpose and the willingness to do the work. The greatest investment you can make is in yourself. Invest your time, your energy, your discipline, your heart. Because the return on this investment is not measured merely in wealth or status, but in peace of mind, confidence, and the fulfillment of living up to your potential. Remember this: growing up is not about age or circumstance. It is a decision. It is a commitment to show up, to face life's realities with courage, to learn relentlessly, and to act consistently. It is the daily practice of becoming the person you were meant to be. So, as you stand at this moment, ask yourself, will I choose comfort or growth? Will I blame or own? Will I drift or direct? Will I settle or rise? The answer is yours, and it will shape the rest of your life. Stand tall. Step forward. Grow up. The world needs what only you can become. To grow up is to understand that life is not a series of isolated moments, but a continuous journey of becoming. It's the art of patience and persistence intertwined, the willingness to grind daily while keeping your eyes on the horizon. Jim Rohn often said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. This is not about quick fixes or overnight miracles. It's about showing up when it's hard, about the quiet work behind the scenes that no one sees but yourself. There's a hidden power in habits. Habits create the architecture of your life. They shape your thoughts, your actions, your results. A single habit can be the difference between stagnation and breakthrough. The grown-up chooses habits that nourish, elevate, and empower. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the structure that holds you steady when motivation fades. It's the silent agreement you make with yourself each morning: I will do what it takes today. Without discipline, dreams are just fantasies. Without habits, intentions are just noise. Without responsibility, freedom is an illusion. Jim Rohn's wisdom is clear: don't join an easy crowd, you won't grow. Go where the expectations and demands to perform are high. Growth requires stretching beyond comfort, breaking through self-imposed limits, embracing the discomfort that signals progress. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Guard it fiercely. Feed it daily with knowledge, insight, and reflection. Challenge your beliefs. Replace doubt with faith in your ability to learn and improve. Personal philosophy is the compass for your journey. What you believe about yourself, your life, and the world determines your trajectory. Choose a philosophy rooted in growth, responsibility, and purpose. Never underestimate the power of setting clear, meaningful goals. Goals give your efforts direction and energy. Jim Rohn said, goals. There's no telling what you can do when you get inspired by them. There's no telling what you can do when you believe in them. And there's no telling what will happen when you act upon them. But goals without action are like seeds never planted. You must act daily, not just sometimes, but relentlessly, with focus and resilience. Life will test you. It will push you to the edge of your limits. But remember, every test is a gift, an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're really made of. Embrace the tests. Learn from them. Grow stronger. The grown-up mindset sees obstacles not as roadblocks but as stepping stones. They know failure is not the enemy but a tutor. Your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development, Jim reminded us. To rise, you must grow. Character is forged in the fire of adversity. It's easy to be disciplined when things are easy. True discipline shines brightest when the nights are dark and the weight is heavy. Cultivate gratitude. It's not just a feel-good emotion, it's a powerful mindset that fuels resilience and joy. When you appreciate what you have, you unlock the energy to pursue what you want. Time is your most precious resource. Spend it wisely. Be mindful of distractions and time wasters. Protect your schedule as if your life depends on it, because it does. You are the author of your story. Write it with intention. Live it with courage. Own every word, every decision, every consequence. Remember, to grow up is not to be perfect, but to be willing. To grow up is to be humble enough to learn and strong enough to act. To grow up is to become the architect of your destiny. Stand firm in your commitment. The journey is long, but the rewards are eternal. Grow up today, because tomorrow is shaped by the choices you make right now. Growth is not a destination, it is a lifestyle. It is waking up every day with the intent to become better than you were yesterday. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." This simple phrase holds the secret to lifelong success. When you wish for easier circumstances, you surrender your power. You hand over your growth to luck or external conditions. But when you choose to become better, you reclaim your power, because improvement is always within your control. It starts with taking full responsibility for your life. No more blaming circumstances, other people, or fate. The grown-up takes ownership, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Responsibility is freedom in disguise. When you accept it, You break the chains of victimhood and step into your true potential. Jim Rohn taught that your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. And change demands sacrifice. It demands you let go of old habits, old excuses, old mindsets that no longer serve you. You must be willing to pay the price of discipline, consistency, and courage. The paradox is that the price of success is the price of growth. You can't have one without the other. And that price is not measured in money or time alone, but in the daily decisions to act even when you don't feel like it. Habits are the battleground. Small, seemingly insignificant choices compound into either progress or decline. You must guard your habits fiercely, for they determine your future. Jim Rohn said, "We must all suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret." The pain of discipline is temporary, it shapes you, molds you, and prepares you for greater things. The pain of regret lasts a lifetime. To grow up is to prioritize the pain that brings growth over the pain that brings despair. It means choosing to do the hard work today for the freedom and success of tomorrow. One of the greatest tools for growth is learning. Never stop being a student of life. Read books, seek mentors, listen to wisdom, and absorb knowledge like a sponge. But knowledge alone is not enough. You must apply what you learn. Jim Rohn said, "Knowledge is not power. It is only potential power." Execution trumps knowledge every time. Your philosophy of life is your foundation. Choose values that elevate your character, integrity, discipline, humility, perseverance. These are the pillars that hold you steady through storms. Remember, time is a currency that can never be replenished. Invest it wisely in yourself, your goals, and your relationships. The grown-up knows that life seasons will change. There will be times of plenty and times of scarcity, times of joy and times of challenge. But through it all, your attitude, your mindset, your philosophy must remain unshaken. As Jim Rohn said, the seasons will always change. Life will give you the winter, but don't forget, spring always follows. Embrace every season, learn from it, and keep moving forward. You become what you think about most of the time. Cultivate a mindset focused on growth, responsibility, and purpose. This is your compass. To grow up is to become a person who acts, not reacts, who leads, not follows, who shapes their destiny, not drifts through life. So, make the decision today. Commit to growing up. To being better, stronger, wiser. To living a life of purpose and impact. Because when you grow up, everything changes. You become unstoppable.